A FeliCa card consists of an antenna and an IC chip with a CPU, but there's no battery, so no need to worry about leakage or battery life. Power is supplied from the reader-writer, which communicates with the card on a 13.56 MHz frequency. The communication speed between the two is 212 and 424 kilobits per second, much higher than other contactless smart cards. Now, let's look at the major characteristics of FeliCa. First, it offers a multi-application function, meaning that FeliCa can handle various applications with a single card. Second, its file system enables different keys and access rights to be set to individual files, so it has a high level of security as well as a high processing speed. And the communication standard of FeliCa has been approved under the international standard ISO IEC 18092. Smart cards are expected to be useful for various applications, such as electronic money, points application, and electronic tickets. FeliCa maintains a firewall for each application by setting different keys and access rights for different business entities running their respective applications. In addition, with Sony's interim key technology, FeliCa makes it possible to carry out an operation through mutual linkage, not needing notification of the key data itself. This allows an operation with more than one aspect. For instance, payment with electronic money and addition of points in one transaction. With conventional smart cards, access to a locked file requires you to go through a process of mutual authentication, with keys at each end. But in the case of FeliCa, access to multiple files is enabled by the interim key, which incorporates each key required for accessing each file. Once mutual authentication has been cleared with this interim key, then all the corresponding files become accessible, making the whole authentication process faster and more efficient. Now, let's look at the FeliCa concepts of system, area, and service. The system code is selected by the reader-writer when it detects a card. If the code is different, the card will not respond to the reader-writer. Area and service are flexible layers of operation, just like folder and file on a PC. Area corresponds to a folder. It can have up to 8 layers, within each of which there may be a service, which defines such things as access pointer and data block access method. The security level can be raised by setting up keys individually. FeliCa offers 3 types of data block access, or services: random access, cyclic access, and purse access. Random access is used for any data, such as ID. It can read and write for random blocks. Cyclic access handles log data, such as the usage history of a card. It overwrites old data with new data in units of 1 block at a time. Purse access is used for value data, such as electronic money and accumulated points, and can carry out calculations, such as subtraction and refunds. Various interfaces can be used for communication between the controller and the reader-writer, including RS-232C, RS-485, CMOS, and USB. Once mutual authentication is established, encrypted communication is carried out. Communication between reader-writer and card is by radio waves on the 13.56 MHz frequency. Communication is carried out through encryption process after mutual authentication, which means data would not easily be analyzed. FeliCa employs a 3-path system to carry out mutual authentication. For communication between the reader-writer and the card, first, random numbers are encrypted using key data stored in advance and then sent to the card. The card decrypts them, also using key data stored in advance, then re-encrypts them and sends them back to the reader-writer. At the reader-writer, they are decrypted and then checked to confirm that they match the original random numbers. Random numbers generated within the card can be checked in the same way, confirming that the reader-writer and the card both have the same key, and thus completing the mutual authentication. In FeliCa, not only the normality checks on reader-writer and card, but also the service access check can be done simultaneously with this mutual authentication technology. Up to 8 services can be authenticated at one time. So, as we can see, FeliCa uses highly efficient mutual authentication and communication systems that are ideal for contactless smart cards. A whole series of tasks, including detection of a card by the reader-writer, mutual authentication, and data reading and writing, can be carried out in only 0.1 seconds. The system is therefore ideal for situations which require high processing speeds, such as fare payment at the ticket gate of transport facilities or on-the-spot payment at convenience stores. The communication standard is based on the near-field communication technology operating at 13.56 MHz. Developed jointly by Sony and NXP Semiconductors, this technology has been standardized internationally under ISO IEC 18092 and is expected to expand rapidly not only into IC card systems but also into a variety of consumer electronics devices. The newest advance in FeliCa technology is the mobile FeliCa, a mobile phone handset with FeliCa technology built in. The mobile FeliCa can be used in exactly the same way as a FeliCa card. Just wave it in front of the reader-writer. It can be used even when the handset is turned off. The mobile FeliCa has several new features. The biggest difference from conventional IC cards is that the remaining balance, usage history, and other data can be displayed on the handset screen. Data is literally in the palm of your hand at any time. Access to this data is secured by a password, input by the handset owner. Knowing that privacy is protected, accessing services is completely worry-free. The mobile FeliCa also makes it possible to use applications linked to applications offered by the mobile phone. For example, a store can send an advertisement directly from its POS terminal to a handset when closing an e-payment transaction. FeliCa's security functions assure reliable communication through the mobile phone communication network, enabling the user to top up the value or make online payments in complete safety. If the handset is lost, FeliCa functions can be locked remotely to safeguard against the danger of misuse. Another new technology introduced lately is the dual interface IC card. Incorporating both contact and contactless communication interfaces, this multi-application card not only offers the functions of contactless FeliCa cards, but also supports the Visa global platform that is based on the use of contact IC cards. Cross-access between contact and contactless interfaces is complete. FeliCa data can be accessed via the contact communication interface, and data on contact IC cards can be accessed via FeliCa's contactless communication interface. Today, smart cards are rapidly spreading in all application fields. More variety of excellent capabilities is expected for smart cards, considering not only user conveniences, but also the operation advantages of business entities. Sony will continue to support your smart card business through technology and product development of FeliCa, the contactless smart card for multi-application purposes.